We're on.
Hey, Shalom. We're the real Hebrew Israelites. Come out every week, prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, America, which is called the daughter of Babylon in the Bible, and to teach you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the Lord's chosen people, the 12 lost tribes of Israel on this sign. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakak, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone camps, for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world.
So I just wanted to get something real quick in Isaiah 54 and 16. Yahweh makes the smith. So that's the kind of time we're in right now. Isaiah 54 and 16. As we're alive today, we're going to get to see the end play out. We're going to get to see this saying what he is. And we're going to get to see through the scriptures. And then we're going to get to see what the scriptures say. Got it?
This is Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy.
So there's a lot of things right there. So the first thing you need to understand is, and I'll give you Isaiah 45 and 7. This is Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, do all these things. So this is the Lord telling Isaiah, behold, I created a smith.
I don't know if you see my video. I just put up a video and titled it, I have created the smith.
Yeah, the waster.
Yeah.
The smith.
And then I get the definition for this whole verse. Because when you go to the definition for smith, let me get it.
And while you're getting it, I want you to think about the movie Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. When it starts off, his dad is a smith and he's making a sword, right? So he's making that sword and it's hard work and it's everything. But the sword he's making represents the missile. And the smith himself represents Esau. So Esau's making that sword so he can pass it down to who? To his son. Because that's their blessing.
Yeah, because when you get the definition for smith, it says craftsman, artisan, engraver, and then it's a figurative. It says skillful to destroy.
Yeah, that's the one that
Yeah, and then in parentheses it says warriors.
And
like that one movie, The Warriors.
Oh yeah.
They were skillful because they had to make it all the way back to the neighborhood, and it was just a small group. They had to
navigate the other neighborhoods. It takes skill to get through different territories. Because it says, behold, I have created the smith and that bloweth the coals in the fire. And the fire is his laboratory or his wherever he makes his weapons, like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Original Glue.
And the definition for that one, it goes into charcoal. And,
Yeah.
and then it says hot coals.
Yeah.
You think about barbecue.
And then charcoal also cleanses, it's a cleansifier. Pastahar always brings that up.
We use charcoal in a lot of cleaning products.
Yes, sir. So,
Like toothpaste.
yes, sir. Oh, check that out. And it keeps your mouth clean, right? It keeps it clean from what? Unwanted bacteria. So Esau, you're the unwanted bacteria. This whole world has become an unwanted bacteria. So what has to be to cleanse it? That charcoal that's going to be left from the fire. You got any more differences?
You want to read it that verse again?
All right. I'll read it. Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
And then it also said, bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And instrument is Strong's H367. It says implement of hunting or war. And the definition for implement implement is a tool, utensil, or other piece of equipment, especially as used for a particular purpose.
Yep. So let me get this for you, because you said an instrument, right? What particular purpose? Because this is the verse this is the scripture that's going to tell you the purpose and what the instrument is purpose for. So this is Genesis 27, and I'm sorry, at 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father blessed me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Yeah, because the order goes, the firstborn gets the blessing, right? But Jacob snuck it away somehow. And then it goes on to say, I'm going to read 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? So there's his blessing, but there's a blessing that he's still going to get. So 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt thou serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So there you go, there's his weapon. There's his blessing. The sword. The instrument. And what's that instrument for? To put Jacob in order.
Yeah, because it said an instrument for his work. And when you look up the definition for his work, it says of deliverance and judgment. And that's the deliverance of the hopeful elect and the 1/3 of Israel. And then the judgment for the rest of the Israelites is 2/3 plus the judgment for the heathens.
So I'm going to read that one again. Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. So like the brother was saying, that's his work. So his work is also to take over the world. And how is he going to take over the world? Is he going to take over the world with the sword? No, it's going to be those missiles. It's going to be those ICBM that's going to cause that fire. That's going to make that coal. And I have created the waster to destroy. There you go.
Yeah. And definition for waster, to destroy. So it says to destroy, to ruin, by laying waste as a country, a region, or a field.
Country, man. And didn't this guy put Japan to waste when he put his instrument down? His two instruments? Fat Boy and Little Boy, or Little Boy and Fat Man, or Fat Boy. Those two, those were atomic weapons. This next weapon coming up is ICBMs, nuclear devastation, nuclear fire. That's gonna make everything charcoal. You're gonna see those that make it in the ships are gonna look down and see charcoal. The whole area is gonna be charcoal. Because it says the elements are gonna be melted away with fervent heat. Fervent heat.
And then it also goes on and says, by pulling down as walls a city, or by wounding, or by killing both individuals and whole peoples.
Individuals, he has his weapons, like the gun and the knife. And then whole people, he uses the ICBMs to scare the whole people. Because he already dropped them on Japan, the atomic bombs. So he's like, look, I got better shit than that. You know, don't make me drop it on you. So there it is. That's how you do it. You got more definitions? You want to get Zephaniah 1 and 14? Yeah, 1 and 14. Because there's a lot of scriptures in here that can help you out if you don't understand what it's talking about. Especially something as informative as this, like the waster. Who's the waster? By now, you should already understand. But the point is, there's more to it than just reading something verbatim, word by word, knowing the definition of something. Breaking those scriptures down is hard, but understanding them is a blessing.
Zephaniah 1 and 14, the great day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
Who's a mighty man? Warriors. Because wasn't that one of those definitions?
Yeah, the skillful warriors.
Skillful warrior. Even they're going to cry out loud. They're going to be wailing and being scared. This is Revelation 18 and 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. That's it, man. See how beautiful the explanation gets once you have precepts. And I didn't find these precepts because I went and I just read the book one time. I read this one, I read my priest handbook, and I read the regular one, and then I went on the blue letter and I found the other scriptures that go along, and then I picked the ones that I wanted to use. It's pretty hard, but it's easy at the same time if you got the willingness to do it. So from there, we're going to jump to Jeremiah 46 and 10, and we're still talking about the destroyer. Because this ties into all the lessons that you can think of. Because you'll ask yourself the question, well, who's the destroyer? And we'll tell you Esau. Well, who's Esau? And then we'll have to tell you about Jacob and Esau. And then since we tell you about Jacob, we can tell you that the Lord came from the tribe of Judah. And then we can tell you that the Judites are so-called Negroes. And then we can go into a sign, and then we can go wherever the Spirit takes you. Are you ready?
Jeremiah 36 and 10. Then read Baruch in the book.
46 and 10.
Oh, Salah.
46 and 10, my bad.
Jeremiah 46:10. For this is the day of Yahweh Shai of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries.
Oh man, see, there's a lot of stuff. Every scripture we get, there's a lot of stuff because, for one, who's going to avenge us from our adversaries? Yahweh. And then you look at the Lord of hosts. If you get that definition about Bashar, Lord of hosts, see, that's going to tell you a lot. Because a lot of Christians think, oh, that the Most High is all love, because they see paintings of Him that are covered by white skin or something that's not Him, right? And they'll believe it because they don't want to believe the truth. Here you have it.
So, definition of host is a army, or a service, or warfare, or war, angels, mostly that.
So Apostle Gabar always goes into it. That's the Lord's army. All the skillful warriors are the Lord's army. The instruments of the skillful warrior are the Lord's army. The chariots are the Lord's army. And everything's the Lord's army. We're the Lord's army. Because the first thing that has to come out is the word. And then all these things will start happening, and then the end is to come and die. So now let's go to, let's go to Deuteronomy 32 and 42. Because now we got to talk about the sword. Now we got to talk about the sword. What is this sword? While you're getting that, I'm going to go into Matthew 24 and 30. This is Matthew 24 and 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Those are those chariots, man. Which those chariots are also part of the army of the host, of the army of the Lord. So the Lord's really behind all of this. Go ahead.
Is Deuteronomy 32 and 42.
Yeah.
I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh.
Man, so he's going to make his arrows drunk with blood, and his arrows shall devour flesh. So what does that mean? That's poetic stuff, man. That's those missiles are going to eat, kill. They're going to get all these weapons that were made are going to get their wishes fulfilled, because they all want war. All these, because I read the scripture, in 18 and 9, in Revelation 18 and 9, then all the kings of the earth shall gather together. That's what they're going to do. They're going to show off their military powers. They're going to show off all of their instruments, all the skillful warriors. And have you ever seen the military parades that these other nations have? They have knife fighting demonstrations. Skillful warriors. You know, they have all kinds of shit that they're showing off. They have tank races. They have marine dance competitions. They have all kinds of things. They're just trying to show the skillful warrior. So from there, let's go to Isaiah 13 and 9. And it's going to be a short lesson, and then we can go into whatever you got. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the spirit. Because everybody that's in the body is in the mind frame of Yahweh Bashem Shai. We're in the same spirit. One of us says Shalom, apostles and brothers, and then everybody else is on board. But you have to recognize who you're giving peace to. Go ahead.
Isaiah 39 and 9. Behold,
13 and 9. I'm sorry.
Isaiah 13 and 9. Behold, the day of Yahweh Shai Shai cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Man, that sounds like a lot of destruction. It's gonna be quick. Like when you see a boxing match with someone that's famous for knocking people out, it's gonna end fast. Like Mike Tyson's fights. All his fights ended fast. With knockouts. Wow. And they end fast in the first round. Second round. They're ending quick. So from there, let's go to Ezekiel 39 and 17. And read all the way to 20.
Ezekiel 39 and 17, and thou, son of man, thus saith Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, speak unto every feathered fowl, and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you. Even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood.
Wow, so he's going to feed the birds, he's going to feed the animals with the bodies, the corpses, and the blood of all the wicked Israelites and the princes of the earth. Did you read 17 to 20?
And then verse 18, ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty, and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them, fatlings of Bashan.
Everything is going to get devoured.
And ye shall eat fat, till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you.
So what does it mean to get drunken off something? If you get drunk off blood, it's telling you yes. I was watching you know how they have short clips on YouTube? What was it, Superman versus Nuclear Man? You ever seen that? Superman 4?
Yeah.
So he's like, read that verse again.
Ezekiel 39:19. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken.
Till ye be drunken. Nuclear Man was drunk on that power. And you remember that? He was like, where's the woman? He wasn't talking nice. He was like, where's the woman?
Huh.
Superman was the one that was being like, hey. He was killing all kinds of people. He was drunk with power. That's what it means to be drunken with blood. Now how are you gonna act when you're drunk with blood? How does Esau act when he's drunk with blood? What does that mean? That means when he takes over a nation, what does he do? He subjectifies the people, puts them in slavery, takes the women, and destroys the families. That's drunken with blood. Get the last one.
Verse 20, thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men and with all men of war, saith Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai.
And then that happened in Egypt. So that means that it will happen again. And I'm going to end it with this. This is Isaiah 47 and 11. Therefore shall evil come up on thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and that mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come up on thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Because you're not ready for it. You're not prepared for it. Those are going to be like when you're playing Modern Warfare or Call of Duty and you drop the bomb, everybody's done. See, that's going to happen too. So you got a lesson.
And want to go to Jeremiah 51 and 1.
Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus said Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that raise up against me a destroying wind.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai says he's going to raise up against Babylon. Now when you go to the definition for Babylon, it means confusion by mixing, and confusion of speech, and that's what America is. It's just big confusion of mixing religions.
Mixing ideas and mixing things that don't match.
Because one religion says something, then another religion says something, and if they don't go by the scriptures, by one doctrine.
Because there's no authority in it. Nobody can agree on who's the authority. We know that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is the authority. That's it.
But none of them have the truth.
And if they do, they are hiding it from you. Like I said, this lesson was gonna go with my lesson. It always does, and we don't ever. Hey, I'm gonna do this. Can you get some scripture? Sometimes we do. Let me keep reading. This is Jeremiah 51:1. Thus said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
So it said he's gonna rise up against them that rise up against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the ones who are rising up against them are 2/3 of our people, and then plus the heathens.
Yeah, especially the 2/3 because they got the separate doctrines and they're destroying the house of Israel. Like you don't want to give double honors to the apostles, but then you go onto their videos and watch their videos. That's some crazy stuff. Because who did we learn this from? We learned it from them, and they learned it from their teachers. So there's a history behind this. And you're forsaking that history, and then there's people that saying that the sign is wrong. Rising up against the Most High right there. Because this is good news right here. This is good news. That's the best news I ever heard. Oh, I'm an Israelite. Oh, yeah. That was the best news I ever heard.
Yeah. So we're supposed to rise out of this nation, not rise up against, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and not be in the midst of this land.
Verse 2. All right. 51:1. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that raise up against me a destroying wind.
So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to raise up a destroying wind. Now when you go into definition for wind, it says there's a lot of definitions. One of them is temper or anger, and that's how Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that's how he feels. And then also when you go down, it says as inspiring ecstatic state of prophecy. And an ecstatic state means like an energetic,
Happy, excited.
Yeah.
Excited.
You're happy to prophesy this word.
Yeah.
And also as impelling prophet to utter instruction or warning.
Damn.
See, so that's the destroying wind that we're warning you about. We're giving you utter destruction. And impelling, when you get that definition,
definitions are important. You won't have any understanding unless you have a definition.
so impel is to drive, force, or urge someone or something to do something.
So what's it? Impale? Impale is the word?
Impel.
Impale. So you could do that with the word. You could do that trying to get them to come to the word, like he. The scriptures do that a lot. They say, I beseech you, brethren, dearly beloved. But you don't listen.
Yeah, because that's what the brothers at Great Millstone are doing. They're impelling you because they're always putting up videos, always driving you.
Always. I think there's one for every minute of the day. Every day. I can't keep up with them, man. I've been watching the new brothers on my subscriptions, and they have beautiful edifications, and it's all in the same spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Even Apostle Rakam, he does good solo videos a lot. So, more of the definition of destroying wind, it says imparting warlike energy and executive, imparting warlike energy and executive and administrative power.
Ooh, man. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
'Cause we got administrative power. We're administrating the word out here in the streets, and then we're going to get executive power, because the administrative means that you're working on it. Executive means you get to execute it. You get to tell people to do it. You ever been to an executive meeting? Nothing but bullshit. Nobody does anything. They just tell people what to do.
Because imparting, it means to make information known by communicating.
An executive will tell you, hey, this is what I want you to do. As an administrator, you have to do it. This is beautiful, man. I wasn't prepared for it. That's just what happens when you're in the spirit, man. They're like puzzle pieces, they just come together. And it's all through the scripture. You want me to get verse 2? Jeremiah 51:2. And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
So it said he's going to bring unto Babylon, it's called fanners. So when you get definition for fanners, it's a foreign enemy, a foreign enemy. That's what Yahweh Shema was going to do when he destroys America. The foreign enemy is going to be Russia and China.
Yeah. Because also the scriptures, like I read in 18:9, in Apocalypse, it says